Hey everyone, Erin here. Do you recognize me? I'm just kidding around a little bit here, but yeah, the mosquitoes are not gone. The mosquitoes are still here, making life really, really, really difficult outside. Somebody mentioned that they had a really good mosquito zapper last week, and I asked if they had a recommendation, and maybe they didn't see my comment, but if you have one, I'll take it. I'm getting fairly desperate, and I need to get some work done in the garden. I mean, even the lawn is starting to get long, which only makes it worse now. Anyway, long story short, we're going to do a short garden stroll here. If you are in the U.S., you are in the middle of a beautiful hopefully a beautiful Labor Day weekend. It's probably my favorite weekend of the year because I feel like it's like a true summer weekend. So I'm going to be brief today. Like I said, not a lot has changed in the garden, but there's a couple of things I want to show you. And of course, I don't feel like strolling around too much because of said mosquitoes. Little bit of viewer mail. This is part of the, here I gotta move this because the sun is like really awkward. There, is that better? Maybe. Sorry, I just whacked my microphone. A little bit of viewer mail. This is sort of part of the postcard project here. So, this is from Marion. She sent me, this is from Fioli. This is in California, and this is not a place I've heard of before, so I love it when people send me new places. This is in San Francisco. Here's the map of the gardens, and we have a couple of postcards here. Here's the first one. She says, it's my favorite place in the San Francisco Bay Area. I live north of Yosemite National Park, battling deer, squirrels, bears, and tall trees, but still garden. And then this one says, really enjoy your videos. I'm also a master gardener. Twain Hart, California. Thank you for sending that, Marion. She says she missed wine and weeds. I do too. We got to get back to that, right? They must have had the trolls exhibit there. So when I went to the, there's actually some of these in Milwaukee right now too. But I saw them in Maine when I went to the Coastal Botanic Gardens there 2 years ago. They're kind of wild. I'm sure kids absolutely love them. Okay. And then we have two things from the same person. And one appears to be an addendum. So I'll just kind of open them up together. Oh, wow. Barb Bennett, you have impeccable handwriting. Holy smokes. Oh gosh, I love it when people send like all the pictures. Oh my gosh. Just want to say this right now. Look at this container. I see coleus and zinnias, and that's Plectranthus silver shield, and this little bit Transcantia, and looks like that might be like vinca down there, and a little bit of purple petunia. Really pretty. Okay, let's read the letter. Dear Erin, we went to the Bronx recently and toured the New York Botanic Gardens Van Gogh Flowers exhibition. It was eye candy everywhere you look. They didn't have any postcards, so here are a few photos I took while I was there. Thought of you with the lotus and pond lilies and also the planter colors, purple, green, and yellow. Is that a Plectranthus in there? It's funny, yes. For years, I've loved watching you and your sense of humor mixed with plant knowledge and those tricky botanical names. It's so inspiring to all your followers. Love the tours and all the changes to the bed this year. The window box is just spectacular. You're putting us all to shame now. Oh, that's funny. And she says, hi to Dorothy and Darwin. Oh my gosh, so cute. From Barb. Thank you so much, Barb. Here's a close-up of the other photos for you, so you can see those. And then she sent another envelope, and there's a little note on it that says, I forgot to send these photos of the garden that I took last week. Oh, this with the photos. Oh, I bet this is the exhibition guide. Oh, that is some cool exhibition art. That's very cool. Goes through October 26th, you guys. So if you're in the New York Botanic Garden area, you could still catch it. And then here's the map of the whole garden. Very cool. This is really neat too. They have a plant tracker. Looking for a specific plant specimen? Located at planttracker.nybg.org. very cool. I would love to see that garden. Gotta get, must get to that garden. I've actually taken a few classes through them, and I just need to be there at some point. Okay, let's move on with it. By the way, in addition to this hat, which I just picked up on Amazon yesterday, I actually have been thinking about buying one of these for a while, not because of the mosquitoes, but there's a dog groomer. Oh, speaking of dogs, Darwin. Hey, I didn't even know he was out here. Darwin, please don't bark. In addition to using this for the mosquitoes, there's a dog groomer. I follow a girl with the dogs on YouTube, and she wears these when she's drying. They're really furry beasts, and I could totally use one of these. And in fact, we might be giving Darwin a bath the next couple of days here, so I thought, well, I might as well get one anyway. And the other thing I've been using is I bought a whole bunch of citronella incense sticks, which I've been putting kind of by the door and like placing them around the deck, because what we've been noticing is so many mosquitoes come in on the door. So when we open up the door, the house is just filling up with mosquitoes. So I've been doing incense sticks every night when the dogs are coming in and out after dinner. I don't know if it's working or not, but it makes me feel like I'm trying something. All right, let's go walk. Oh, I'll just say that I was in Michigan for much of the past week, and I should have some videos from that. I do have a couple of writing deadlines that I'm right up against. So I kind of have some videos that need to be edited, and I hope I can spit them out a little quicker, but deadlines are deadlines. And I don't say that to sound like important. I just say that because I'm a big procrastinator. So I am always up against a deadline. If there's not a deadline, I'm not going to do it. So I'm always right at the deadline when I'm finishing things up. So there's that. Let's go look. Show you just a few of the changes kind of here on the patio. Finally, you're starting to get some more waltzing Matilda flowers, which is great. I love that dahlia. But again, we're still, oh look, we do have some Penhill. This is Penhill Dark Monarch. They should be much bigger than they are there, but we're finally getting some flowers there. I take comfort in the fact that everyone I've talked to has said their dahlias are super late in most places in the country. So this, I just hope we don't get an early frost or something, because that would be a true sad ending to the season. But again, these should all be in full bloom. I did cut, there were a few flowers, like there were a bunch of these buttercup, which by the way, I absolutely love. Love this. I cut a bunch of them before I left and made a little bouquet. So there were more flowers and I cut them. And those, by the way, those little buttercups seem to last for a really long time. I'm just noticing right now, this is kind of interesting. It looks like there's like rust on that banana leaf. Maybe it's just damage that was caused by wind, and it just is starting to brown out. Anyway, and I have a wheelbarrow full of weeds here and a barking dog on a very tranquil morning. Whose dog is barking? Okay. All right. So what we have, folks, is the return of the plant pile. Yeah, I came home from Michigan with some plants because I actually took the car ferry over there and took my car. So I was able to bring some plants home in the car, which was quite nice. So I thought I would show you guys what I brought, because that's really, frankly, the most interesting thing that's happening around here. So the first thing here is a large Let's Dance Sky View. This is one of the Macrophylla serrata hybrids from Proven Winners. And I wanted a big one because I had one that came in like a quart size, and it really did not do well. And honestly, now that I'm looking at where I put it, like I put it in a place that probably wasn't the best place to get a small plant established. So I took a nice big one because I've been told that a lot of people absolutely love this one, but they only had success with it when they were starting from a little bit bigger plant. So I'm hoping that will help. So that's the only shrub that we have here. I did pick up another one of these. This is Lemon Perfection Nepeta. So this is new out this year or next year. I did get a sample plant of this, so I suspect it might be a next year thing. So this is a like chartreuse foliage Nepeta, and I have to say, it was looking really, really, really good in the trial gardens at Walter's Gardens, which is the perennial growing partner of Proven Winners. They grow things that aren't Proven Winners as well, but it was looking super good in the trial gardens. I was really impressed with it. I did plant one. I also planted chartreuse on the loose, which is been out for a little bit, so I could compare the two. So that'll be a good comparison. And then this is another new Nepeta. This is Catwalk Queen, and 10 to 12 inches. I think this one is kind of being positioned as perhaps a little bit better performer to Cat's Pajamas. Now, I actually have places where Cat's Pajamas is a really good performer, but this one did look really good in the garden. I also have places where Cat's Pajamas is not a good performer, so that's interesting. I will always try a Nepeta. Nepeta is on my list of plants that are just so easy that I love it. I did pick up a few more. I have this growing in the garden already. This is an Artemisia called Silver Lining. It's the only Artemisia that I like, and I have it growing kind of along the driveway over there, and I would like more of it. So I picked up, there were 3 of those that I grabbed. I did get, this is Dressed Up Ball Gown Heuchera. This is well, it says spacing is 24 inches, but it grows short. Chartreuse, heavily ruffled leaves. Let's just see. Hang on now. The question is, what are they giving for exposure on this? Part shade to shade for this. So it's always interesting with the Heuchera. Sometimes I feel like they want more sun than I'm giving them. So I have 3 of those, it looks like. This is Wildberry, Dolce Wildberry Heuchera. I actually picked those up for a fall container. Darwin, please do not eat the alliums. Darwin. I picked those up for a fall container. Our local downtown had businesses sponsor. I've been pushing for this for a lot of years. So they've got businesses sponsoring or doing their own like fall containers. So the big planters downtown, and my mom and I are going to be doing one. And so I thought that would be fabulous in a fall planter. And yeah, I don't know if it's a competition, but it is to me. So the other thing that might look really good in there, but I suspect is not great for a maintenance crew to have to take care of, is this Astilbe right here. This is Dark Side of the Moon. I have a fair amount of these throughout the garden, but these were looking really beautiful. I mean, just gorgeous. I feel like for me, this does best in part sun. Not full sun because it gets crispy, and I would say that part shade seems to be not enough sun. Let's see what they're saying for it. They're saying full sun to full shade. Oh, great. For me, I think this is part sun is where it's going to do the best. Up here, I would say obviously the farther south you are. But moisture because it's an Astilbe. But anyway, I mean, that is like dark, dark, dark foliage. And I thought that could look really cool in the fall planter too. I just think that the watering needs are going to mean it's not going to look good for long in a container because I don't know how much of that they do. Picked up several of these guys because no one else was taking them. And I actually have a spot for this. These plants are really packed in here. Where is the tag? Let's see if this one has a tag. Sorry, I'm really organized this morning for this video. Here we go. This is ice. This is part of the I Spy Heucherella. I prefer Heucherella to a Heuchera, by the way. This is Fun and Games I Spy Heucherella. So I'm actually going to try these. Kind of where, if this means anything to you, where I've got those castor beans growing right now, because that dogwood died over there. I had Red Rover over there. It kind of got eaten out by the Geranium macrorrhizum. So I'm going to try those and see what happens there. Probably this is the most exciting. This is the plant that everybody got all excited about. And so this, and I'm going to show you the one I have in the garden already. Well, this something similar. So this is Prairie Princess Vernonia. Ironweed is the common name on this. This is a fall bloomer. These are beautiful plants. Now, I will tell you that many people will tell you these are deer resistant, and for my mom and I, neither one of us finds these to be particularly deer resistant. So you do have to protect them. It's not the first thing they'll go for. Maybe it's a situation where the deer are hungry. There's not a lot else that they want to eat. I don't know, but they have nipped on them in our gardens. They get these beautiful little purple things. They're just starting to bloom like nowish. I think that's new for next year, or maybe out this year. I don't know if that for sure. Very pretty. Let me go show you the other one that I have before we get back to the other plants. So I actually have two, and I'll tell you how I got two in this area. One of these is Summer Swan Song, which is a shorter growing one, because ironweed is traditionally like 4 feet tall or so. And I think the main difference you can see between that Prairie Princess is that this is green foliage, and that Prairie Princess has like purpley or very dark green or purpley foliage. This is the other one. So you can see there's like a textural difference here. There's a ton of ironweeds out there, and they do have different kinds of foliage on them. But this one is smaller and very fine. That's probably Summer Swan Song, and this is a different one, probably. I don't think I have tags for either, unfortunately. Here's how I got two there. I thought I lost it, and so I picked up another one and planted another one. And that's something to note, which is that these are late to emerge. They're pretty late to come out for those of us up north here. And well, for anyone, it'll be late compared to other things. But for those of us in the north here, it takes a long time for them to come up. And so you got to make a mental note or a physical note or a tag that you remember that they are going to come up there, because otherwise you do what I did, which is plant one right on top of the other one. Interesting. This was an Nicotiana stem that the dog actually broke off. I noticed it had no flowers on it, and there was a big old tomato. I just said tomato. Oh my God. Tomato hornworm. Oh my God, that was horrible. Okay, so see how this is quite dark foliage on this? I suspect that's the difference here. Let's see what the size on this is going to be. This is 26 to 30 inches tall. Yeah, 26 to 30. So, that's quite a nice size, especially for an ironweed. That is a hosta, because what we need is more deer food around here. But this is one of those really big ones, and what's the name of it? You guys will all know it right away. Oh, this is Woo La La. I picked up a few of these. You know that it's so funny, I pick up phlox. I absolutely love phlox. I have this terrible problem with the deer with them. But this is Luminary Sunset Coral, which I have growing in some other places. I will always take more. If I can beat the deer at the phlox, I will do it every time. And then all in here in the front is alliums. And you guys, they had so many good alliums there. I've always liked alliums, but I am so in love with alliums right now. They just looked amazing. So I was really happy to get my hands on a couple of them. This front one is Serendipity. Now these are behind. These have been grown somewhere else. Normally these would be done by now, but this is Serendipity. If I'm not mistaken, Serendipity is a version, or was a seedling of Millennium. Don't quote me on that. I think that's what it is. It's pretty similar. They bloom slightly different. They have slightly different colors. I like them probably equally. Heather from Here She Grows told me that she does not have problems with this one reseeding on her, but she has Millennium seedlings everywhere. I have experienced very little reseeding with Millennium. So for whatever reason, that might be a factor for you when you're thinking about which one you want. This other one is Bobblehead. This is quite a bit taller, blooms quite a bit earlier. This is 30 to 32 inches tall. In the trial gardens, you guys, this thing was really a force. It was big, and it looks great. The reason I haven't tried this one before was because the flowers are quite a light, kind of pinky lavender color, which I would prefer a more purpley color in alliums. So the bloom color itself is not as exciting to me. However, the seed heads were fabulous on it. So I actually saw it when it was done blooming there. Again, these have not bloomed yet. These are just budding up now. But it looked so good with with them standing there. And I loved the height in it. And honestly, like, I just want to find any way to get more alliums in my garden. So I picked up bobblehead, and then there was a handful of serendipities there too. So that's the plant haul. I feel like this is modest and manageable. So I will get these guys planted in the ground. Great time to be planting for sure. So I will be doing that. Well, except for the watering thing. We're a little dry here. How we went from, flooded to dry, I don't know, but I guess it happens. Is there anything else to show you? I doubt it. I'm a little afraid to look, to be perfectly honest. I've not been able to, I still haven't gone out to spray. I'm going to put my hat on and spray today because the deer are getting real active again. It's clear to me that I have pushed my deer repellent to its max in terms of how long I can go between, because it's definitely getting ineffective. Speaking of alliums, here's a little one, but this is great that I'm not going to be able to tell you what it is. It's got like these twisty little, what is it called? Allium. It's tiny little foliage, little twisty foliage, kind of grows in almost like a spiral, but it's going to flower and it looks beautiful here. And I love this tiny little one. I don't know, you guys, I'm entering my allium era. Prepare yourself for allium overload because I think it's coming. Thank goodness for Crichton honey. Good old Crichton honey dahlia, just doing its thing, not making a fuss about anything, just performing. I need one of those in there at least. So anything else to show you? I don't know. A little eucoma's leaning over the, I think it's because the dog sat on it, to be perfectly honest. Oh, I did see some beautiful, and you'll see these in some videos, some beautiful heptacodiums while I was there. The Temple of Bloom one, I think in every case they were all Temple of Blooms that I saw. Oh, they were so pretty. So pretty. I'm really excited about what this tree is going to develop into. Many of them were pruned down to, like, I would say 3 stems. I'll never get this one to 3 stems, and I don't think that's my intention. But I do think that these ones that are going off pretty dramatically to the sides, I do think I will cut those off. So that's like 4 of them. I do think I will cut those off when it's dormant this year, so that we keep the shape sort of where I'm looking. By the way, I went to so many gardens, and one of the things that I noticed was the number of trees and shrubs that people had pruned up and pruned in sort of an interesting way. And it was a reminder to me that you can try that with almost anything. So that was sort of freeing. Like, for instance, this is just one thing that comes to mind, is this viburnum right here. I did prune it up a little bit last year from the bottom. I'm going to go a lot more, really show off some legs there. I think it'll create some, I think it'll create some air in this bed, which I think is good. We're getting a little blocky in here. So I think if I had a really overgrown shrub that I was considering pulling out, before I did that, I would try doing some kind of interesting pruning from the bottom up and clearing off the bottom of the legs and seeing if that made it more palatable to me before I went and pulled it out, because I saw some really cool stuff. The climbing hydrangea is happy this year. I got to get up there and prune that stuff before it all attaches to the roof, though. Okay, here's this guy. He's looking good. With the annual star Fatchidera finally putting on a bunch of growth. It grew very little. I think it just wants so much heat that it just takes till now to start going. Too bad. Got about 6 more weeks of warmish temperatures here. A month, but probably like 6 more weeks, unless something weird happens. And like, I noticed that Michigan's got frost warnings all over the place, so goodness knows anything could happen. Oh, and the Nicotiana that I planted, the Langsdorffii, is just going nuts everywhere. Fine with me. I don't mind it at all. Okay, I think, all right, I think I'm going to stop it there. Like I said, there's not a lot different from what I showed you last week. And we'll maybe do some videos when I plant some of these things so I can show you where they go. But really, like I said, the plant pile is the most interesting thing that's happening around here right now. Have a great weekend. If you're in the US, enjoy your long weekend. I hope you're all getting a nice chance to do something fun or summery, or enjoy your garden, or enjoy hanging out with family, or not do any gardening at all and just lay around and read a book. Whatever trips your trigger, I hope that's what you're doing. Oh, here, check out the summer hyacinth behind me here. They're looking great in here. Yeah, get in the shade so you can actually, like, I can see the screen and you can see me. All right, I'm gonna get on with this weekend, and I hope you are too. Have a great day in your garden. Have a great weekend. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe if you liked or haven't subscribed, and we'll see you soon. Thanks. Bye-bye.